TWESE territoire.
So for him to give us the
territory,
meaning his own people were put in danger. Meaning you are not considered like the people whom they. Meaning we are people have hatred against our community. All of us, we have to stand together. When we join our hands together, we can stand. We have no any other nation who has given birth to the children who can go and fight for you. There is no anyone who is pity for you, who has the compassion. Our living depends on us. And also not living, our having injustice depends on ourselves. The life of people or fighting for ourselves, it has so many ways. Even we, God has given us different capacity. There are those ones He gave to become like a hero. There are those ones He gave to become like this woman. There are those ones who stand to advocate for our permanent enemies. Because we always have those enemies. Bitakwira, some of them are called Nzangi. Nabo bazapfa kuburyo abambere bapfuye hariho banzuruni barapfuye. Those ones who are the enemy to our people also die like us. Ngo ntituzabaho ubu ngubu ntakihari. Even the one who said we never leave is the one who babisale nabandi barahaguruka babwira president ari kuri Goma. And those people is saying they stood up and said to the president, ngo nutangiriye territoire irabi igihugu cyo hakurya igihugu zabugitanze. Then they said once you give the territory to this community as if you have given it to the other country. Ku itariki zibiri z'ukwezi k'umunani muri 2nd August in 1998. Uwari directeur de cabinet wa Desire Kabila, Laurent Kabila, witwaga Herodian Dombasi, aja ku mashene ya mateleviziyo. He went to the media. He went yatwise ngo turabanzi. He went to RTNC and said these are not only enemies. Adukuramo ubumuntu ntitwaba tukibaye abantu. He removed humanity. He said you are no longer human. Utuntu. He made us like insects. Ibyo ni muri bimwe kugira ngo icyaha cyitwa genocide bashingiraho. Those are some of the things that people can speak and say this was the genocide that was planned. Iyo umuntu wamaze kumukuramo ubumuntu, when you remove humanity into a human ikintu, then you make him an insect. Ibyo ni ibyaha ndengakamere. These are the highest criminal that you can prosecute. Aravuga ngo bari abantu mwabonaga habasukudusa. Herodian Dombasi said the people that you have seen that who don't look like us, bari ni minyorogoto. These are just the insects. Muzamubica nk'iminyorogoto mubarangi. Kill them like serpent. He said that the serpent you have to kill them. Ubwo itegeko ryarakurikijwe. The decree that he gave was followed. Twapushije abantu badasanzwe. They killed so many people at that time. When Banyamulenge, all of you who are here today. Shuti z'Abanyamulenge mwese mwaje kwifatanya natwe kwibuka intware zacu. The friends of Banyamulenge who have joined us here today to commemorate the day of today. Batumire mwatumiwe mukaba mwitavye. Invited the guests who have come. Kubwo kuza kubana natwe kwibuka intwari yacu Lieutenant General Rukunda Mikanika n'izindi ntwari zose who have come to commemorate our heroes who have died. Dutangiye tubahampore ngo mukomere. We started by saying sorry, be strong. Tugiye kuvuga bukeya mu mateka yacu aho urwango rwacu rwatangiriye. We are just going to give you the background of our history, how it started. Kuko ntabwo twaremwe twanga, because you were not born known as people who are being hated by other people.
Hari igihe twigeze kubaho tumeze nk'abandi.
There is a time we used to live like others.
Ariko amateka agenda bihindura bigera igihe bibaho tuba nk'inyamaswa ntitwaba tukiba nk'abantu.
But the history changed. We became an enemies.
Bitewe n'amateka mabi twagiye turagwana abakoroni.
Because of the bad history left by the colonizers.
Dutangiriye ku mwaka w'igihumbi 1891.
By starting by 18
kugeza mu mwaka w'igihumbi 1933
to 1930.
Icyo gihe twari dutuye muri kiriya gihugu cyacu tumeze nk'abandi bantu.
At that time we lived in Congo like other people.
Twari dufite ubuyobozi bwacu butuyobora.
We had our leadership.
Twari dufite amasheferi yemewe.
We had chiefs who led us.
Kuko hari dekret z'abazungu zabivugaga bari bakolonije icyo gihe.
According to how the colonizers used to divide the places.
Ariko nyuma y'icyo gihe,
after that time,
icyo gihe twari dufite chef de collectivité witwaga Kayira.
We have our chief called Kayira.
Yari afite abasushefu benshi.
He had some other chiefs, assistant chiefs under him.
Bakoranaga nawe.
Who served with him.
Barimo ba Imuhanga hayobowe na banyiri Muhanga.
Among them there is those who are leading the place of
Muhanga.
Rukanisha.
Igatyazo hari abagitimbwa.
And also Gitimbwa.
Imurenge hari notable Mutayega.
Notable Mutayega, those are the chiefs.
Kigushu hari habanda indangamyi.
Kigushu, there was Indangamyi.
Mutunda hari Hiremera hari haba notable Sebagurwa.
There was also notable Sebagirwa.
Kamiro hariho notable Gasambi.
Notable Gasambi.
Igihande hariho notable Bujambi.
Even Bujambi. Those are the chiefs that were leading our community.
Niyo yari mwaye plateau uva mu Mushasha.
That was the lower hill of
nukuvuga ngo icyo gihe mwaye plateau yari mu buyobozi bwa Kayira ari bwo bw'ubwoko bwacu.
Lower hill was led by Kayira. Kayira was from our community.
Bigeze mu mwaka w'igihumbi 1933.
When it comes to 1933,
haba inama yari itumijwe n'uwari kugira ngo bakureho Kabira.
He convened the meeting to remove that chief of our community to remove.
Kuko bazanye idini kandi bagashaka uburyo bakandamiza abantu, basanga abantu bacu barasa nabi bafite ubwenge buri hejuru y'abandi twari duturanye.
Because they brought religion in our place and they saw our people are wise enough, they will stand against them.
Zatumye bibi kibazo bakuraho Kayira.
Then it made the Belgian man to come and remove our chief.
Kayira maze kuhava.
When they removed him on power,
dekret yo kumukuraho yabaye ku itariki 5 ku kwezi kwa 12
they had the discussion of remove of him.
Gutinya yuko hashobora kuba za soulèvement byenda sinzi impamvu. Gutinya yuko hashobora kuba soulèvement z'abaturage.
Because of fearing how the demonstration can be carried on.
Habayeho gukora inama yihutirwa.
They convened a meeting quickly. An urgent meeting was convened.
Iza kweguza Kayira bamweguza ku bushefu.
To come and make him resign so that he may resign.
Ariko bamutsimbuza uwundi ariko utaba chef de collectivité.
They replaced him with another who is notable, who is
bashiraho notable witwa Nyiri Muhanga.
They put in notable Nyiri Muhanga.
Kayira baramwangaza bamwohereza Rurenge.
Then Kayira was chased away.
Nyiri Muhanga arahaje ariko atagifite ububasha.
Nyiri Muhanga was there as
kuko yakoreraga munsi y'ubutegetsi bw'umufurero wari uyoboye.
Because he was a stooge, the puppet of that person.
Kuko bamwitaga ngo ni representant wa communauté ntiyarakiri notable, yarakiri chef.
They used to call him representative of a community. He was no longer a chief.
Ibi bimaze kuza ubu chef nabwo bwaje gushira.
When this kind of things came, even
tuza guca muri period imeze nkaho turi mu gihugu kandi tutakirimo tari abanyagihugu.
We came to a time when we felt like we are in the country and yet we are not considered as the citizen of a country.
Habaye muri
60s,
twibwira yuko
after the independence
kabandi.
We thought that we other people. But that independence to us was in vain. After some few days, the freedom fighter was killed. After Patrice Lumumba died, those who wanted to fight against the regime of Mobutu, they started the fighting against Mobutu. People stood up with the movement to fight against the regime of Mobutu. They were led by Pierre Murele, the leader, together with Laurent Kabila, you know, the former president. All those problems were there, and not Munyamulenga was there in America. But they brought and settled in our place to start the movement war. Pierre Mulele movement and also soldiers came and settled in our place. They said that they are going to be fed by our cattle, the cows. They will be killing our cattle and flocks so that they can eat. So our people went a difficult time. That is when auto-defense started. Fighting for ourselves. Our fighting for ourselves started it did not started in 2018. It started in 1966. Our men stood up. They were led by Mushishi, our hero. They said we never be cut together with our women and also children. They took weapons, they went to fight along with Mulele. As you are saying here, Abanyamulenge nibo bantu bisabashizwe mu gisirikare bataragiye ku centre de formation. Banyamulenga the one who have introduced into the military activities without being trained. Bamaze guhangana na Pierre Mulele. After fighting against the Pierre Mulele, muri cyo gihe habaye ibikorwa bibi ku bwoko bwacu. At that time the horrible things came. Many people were killed. Hano tworeba nko kuri Kirumba hapfuye abantu 22 mu ijoro ry'19 we can mention some few 27 were killed at Kirumba. Aha ni ku itariki hari kuri Kirumba ku itariki 19 z'ukwezi kwa kabiri muri 1966 in 1966. Muri uko kwezi kwa gatandatu in the same month of June nubundi mu Gahwera in Gahwera, the place called Gahwera, baje kwica abantu 30 barimo abagore n'abana n'abagabo. They killed 60 people. Muri 1996 nubundi ku itariki 16 z'ukwezi k'umunani in 96 ku Gatongo hiciwe abagabo 10 men were killed. Bicirwa mu ikanisa. They were killed in a church. They were inside the church. Izi ni impfu zabaye zikurikira ibya Pierre Mulele tutazi yavuka ni yakomoka. These are the death that has happened after Mulele without even knowing where he was originated. Iwabo muri Congo ntantambara zahabaye ntakibazo. But Mulele was from the place Congo was the place where he was originated. Because of time we are rushing. Habaye ejo bundi muri 1996. In 96. Kwitariki zirindwi z'ukwezi kw'icumi 7th October vice governor w'abagi Bukavu witwaga Lwabanje, vice governor of Bukavu, aja kuri media ahamagarira abanyamurenge abaheza iminsi 6. He went on social media and he gave us 6 days. Aravuga ngo nyuma y'iminsi 6 tuzabe twavuye ku butaka bwa Zaire aribwo buriya bwa DRC. He said I give you 6 days, after 6 days you should go and cross the border, go and leave DRC Congo. Kuko icyo gihe yatwitaga ngo turi abanyarwanda tugomba gutaha iwacu, because he was calling us Rwandans, go back to Rwanda. Akibagirwa yuko amateka avuga yuko twageze muri kiriya gihugu mu mwaka w'1700 n'iyindi hejuru. And he forgets that the history says that we went to Congo in 1700 years there. Kuko ntabwo twaje dusanga Congo twebwe. We did not come and found DRC. Congo niyo yadusanze hari. Congo, the name Congo came and found Banyamulenge settled in Congo already. Kuko bagabura Congo muri mwaka w'1800
884 885
in 1880s.
hari ya Berlin
During the conference, Berlin conference,
twe twari dutuye hari ya dutuye
we were settled in the place where we live up to now.
nta mupaka wabaga hari
There was no any boundary.
kimwe n'ahandi ho muri Bangi
Together with other kind of district or provinces.
abantu bo muri Equateur bagira bavandimwe bahakurya Bangi ntibagira ikibazo.
In Bangi, in Equateur provinces, they have people speak the same language here in Congo, in the other countries also.
abantu ba Congo n'abantu ba Angola batagira ikibazo.
The people of Congo, they speak the same language in Angola.
abantu ba Kinshasa n'abantu ba Congo Brazzaville batagira ikibazo.
The people of Kinshasa who speak the same language of the people of Congo Brazza.
n'abantu ba Lubumbashi batagira ibibazo.
The people of Brazzaville and Lubumbashi, they speak the same language, but they have no problem.
bikaba twebwe ngubwo dusuko dusakana ntawagize.
But the problem come to us because of how we look like.
uyu guverineri amaze guhamagarira abantu kutwica.
After this governor calling other people to come and kill us,
arasa n'uwari wororosoye abari bazutse kurya baza bavuga.
it was like he was calling people who are ready to kill.
wahise atangira ubwicanyi.
They started killing our people.
nyuma y'iryo tangazo ry'Ibukavu wahise yishwa abantu 22 barimo abaetidia.
After the announcement he made calling upon the people to come and kill.
Kabera, Magaja, Bibogobogo na za Rutabuliri yahiciwe abantu 550.
Kabera and Bibogobogo, more than 500 people were killed.
Abana 159 bajanwe iminyago mateko baje muri Tanzania n'ubutamakuru.
159 were taken as captives.
Ruberizi na Kamanyura hiciwe abantu bagera 10 barimo abashumba batatu.
Kamanyola, more people were killed.
Na shefu.
Among them pastors and chief.
Harimo Revera Bugunzu, Revera Semu.
Reverend Bugunzu.
Na Revera Muzuzi.
And Reverend Muzuzi.
Na shefu Rukenurwa.
And Chief Rukenurwa.
Tuzahora tubibuka.
We'll still remember them. Nganji, the place called Nganji.
Hishiwe abantu 75 abana 100 batwarwa amateka.
70 people were killed and some other hundreds of children were taken as captives. Remera,
hishiwe abantu 36.
66 were killed.
Kimanga Buvira hishiwe abantu 5.
Kimanga Ovira, 5 people were killed.
Mwene Sebugorore wishwe agacibwa umutwe bakawuzungurukana mu mujyi wose bagenda bawerekana ngo dore ko abanzi basa.
He was beheaded and also they took his head and continued showing it to people.
Bimaze kumera uko nguko,
after that situation,
harasubira havukaho abandi batwirwanaho baravuga ngo akagasuzuguro ntibizoshoboka.
Some other twirwanaho were born and they said we cannot continue seeing the killing.
Abasore benshi barahaguruka.
Many young men stood up.
Barimo intwari yacu turiko twibuka uyu munsi.
Among them there were this hero that we remember today.
Barahaguruka baravuga ngo ntabwo twokwemera yuko abavyeyi bapfa tukiriyo turi twagiye mu mahanga.
They stood up and said we cannot accept the killing which is happening to our people.
Abantu barahagurutse haba intambara.
People stood up and fight for themselves.
Birana n'uwitwa Laurent Désiré Kabila nawe wari kushaka ubuyobozi. Laurent Désiré Kabila washakaga ubuyobozi.
Even Laurent Kabila who was longing the leadership.
Tumushigikira tuzi yuko nitugereyo noneho tuzagira amahoro.
We even supported him knowing that after capturing or getting to the leadership he will give us peace. We used the full effort to support Laurent Kabila.
Turagenda mu mezi 7 tugenda ibirometero 2,200 birenga n'amaguru.
We fought for 7 months traveling so many kilometers. So many kilometers fighting along with Laurent Kabila. In history, there was no any war that you can walk 7 months walking, fighting. That people knew that we'll get peace. When we get to Kinshasa, we had just the peace of a short period of time. Before we get to 2 years,
Kuitariki zibiri z'ukwezi k'umunani muri 1998.
2nd August in 1998.
Uwari directeur de cabinet wa Laurent Désiré Kabila,
Laurent Kabila,
witwaga Herodian Ndombasi, aja ku mashene ya mateleviziyo.
He went to the media.
He went yatwise ngo turabanzi.
He went to RTNC and said these are not only enemies.
Adukuramo ubumuntu ntitwaba tukibaye abantu.
He removed humanity. He said you are no longer human.
Utuntu.
He made us like insects.
Ibyo ni muri bimwe
kugira ngo icyaha cyitwa genocide bashingiraho.
Those are some of the things that people can speak and say this was the genocide that was planned.
Iyo umuntu wamaze kumukuramo ubumuntu,
when you remove humanity into a human,
ikintu,
then you make him an insect.
Ibyo ni ibyaha ndengakamere.
These are the highest criminal that you can prosecute.
Aravuga ngo barya abantu mwabonaga habasukudusa.
Herodian Dombasi said the people that you have seen that who don't look like us,
bariya ni minyorogoto.
These are just the insects.
Muza mubica nk'iminyorogoto mubarangi.
Kill them like serpent. He said that the serpent, you have to kill them.
Ubwo itegeko ryarakurikijwe.
The decree that he gave was followed.
Twapfushije abantu badasanzwe.
They killed so many people at that time when he gave that decree.
Mu gihugu hose,
in the whole country.
Aho Kalemi hapfuye abantu bagera kuri 87.
In Kalemi 87 people were killed.
Nihangana.
Continue to be strong.
Kinshasa hapfuye abantu 300.
In Kinshasa 300 men were killed.
2003 nageze Kinshasa.
In 2003 I went to Kinshasa.
Umuntu arazanjana muri Kankokolo.
Then a person took me to the Kankokolo camp.
Aramwe ngo kurabona hariya biriya bintu biteye hariya.
Then he said to me, can you see the plantation which is there?
No kwihangana.
Let us continue to be strong.
Ngo harimo imirambo ya bene wanyu.
Then he said, in those plantations there is the dead bodies of your people.
Bashinguwe muri fosse commune.
There are the graves of your people have been buried there.
Kamina hapfuye 400.
In Kamina 400 people killed.
Lubumbashi hapfa 200.
In Lubumbashi 200 people were killed.
Bzura hapfa abantu 45.
In Bzura 45 people were killed.
Abarenga ibihumbi 200 barangazwa abanyazwe ibyabo.
More than 20,000 ran away from war.
Bakwira isi yose ntacyo bafite.
They were scattered all over the world without having anything.
Nta kindi kintu bazira.
Without any other reason.
Bazira yuko Imana yabaremye kumusa kandi tababigizemo.
Because of how God created them.
Ipweto hapfuye abantu 70.
Pweto 70 people were killed.
Abona abantu bapfuye bakurikiye disikuru gusa ya Herodiya.
Those are the people who were killed because of the orders given by
Abani bakeya twagiye duselectiona ariko bapfuye ni benshi gusa.
These are the few mentioned but more have been killed. This time can kill, it can spare people. We are rushing because of time. And after this grieving words, we have some other words to comfort. In the year of 2004, after coming into the transition government, because LCD, the same people who don't want us to leave, they came and said you have to leave Kinshasa so that they may have peace. There's no peace that comes out of the agreement. The peace comes out of shedding of the blood. They went to Sun City for the peace talk. We found ourselves into the transitional government. Then it was 1+4. Then we lived in that government. It was one president +4. When we landed to Kinshasa, we fought against MONUSCO, the UN soldiers. When we landed, after 20 minutes, after even settling into Kinshasa, we were together with the 5 generals. Some were our relatives, and some of them were not our relatives. There were officials there were more than 16 officials. Less than 10 or 20 minutes, the situation has changed. Those who have diabetes, already diabetes was high. They ordered us now to sit down
bavuga yuko
at the tarmac road. They said you are arrested right now.
habayeho guhamagara amatelefone, abayobozi barahamagara, umwanya uratambuka.
The leaders made a phone call.
Tuhaba mu minsi twahabaye yari myiza cyane.
We stayed there in a few days.
Nzanibuka umunsi umwe twari muri eta major kuko niho nakoreraga.
I remember we were at the headquarters.
Harabagitinya kuvuga ivyo bintu.
There are some people who fear to speak this.
Abandi baza bapfa twebwe tugatinya kuvuga.
Some people they offer their life to die for us, but we fear to speak.
Parade yari sanzwe wa gatanu.
We had the parade as usual.
Hariho umugabo bagaza babesha ngo niwe umunye wacu ngo umushumba.
There was a leader, our leader is
bagaza bamubesha nuko ivyo yatubwiraga bitari bijanye n'ivyo yari yarahamagariwe.
They used to say is the one who is in charge of us in terms of religion matters.
Umunsi intambara ya CNDP itangira,
when the war started,
aho kuri yo parade yabaga hiriho abaofisiye bagera kuri 600.
At that parade there were more than 60 soldiers.
Kandi bene wacu bajaga kuri yo parade yani njenje nyine.
And I am the only person who was different from the other in that parade.
Mutumwe mantu 600 aravuga ngo igitume tutazatsinda urugamba rw'iki gihugu.
Among 600 people, one said
ngo nuko twabaye infiltré.
He said the reason why we are not going to defeat this war is because of infiltrated. We have been infiltrated. Imagine 600 people. One person said, one person who is this one has penetrated inside us. He's an enemy. And imagine he's the one who was in charge to preach the gospel to us. We lived in this situation which wasn't good. Reason why even our people are still there. When you try to judge them, do not. Many of them are there because of loving or wanting to be there.
Nuko ibyo birangiye muri 2004 turi Kinshasa dufite vice president.
In 2004 when we had the vice president,
bene wacu barahunze bahunga Uvira kubera intambara.
Our people ran away from Uvira because of war.
Bamwe barahanga nababonye abamama.
Some of them they are here.
Barahunga igihugu kirabakira cy'u Burundi.
They ran away from Uvira to
bagera mu
Burundi.
maboko ya Nations Unies.
They were received by United Nations.
Amaboko ya Nations Unies arasumba amaboko y'igihugu.
And the United Nations hand is more than the hands of a country.
Ariko barambuka bava ku butaka bwa Congo.
They crossed from DRC.
Babakurikira ku butaka bw'u Burundi.
They went, they found them to the land of Burundi. They killed them.
Bari muri distance y'amametero magana ngahe nika y'abasirikare
b'abarundi. And yet they were just at a short distance with the camp of military Burundian army.
Bari barinzwe na Nations Unies.
They were protected by the United Nations military.
Barapfa abarundi baraza barareba Nations Unies irazirareba.
They were killed in Gatumba when the United Nations were there.
Congo yohereza delegation zayo zari ziyobowe na vice president jana na ministre
wa interior n'abandi. The government of Congo sent the delegate to go and see what has happened.
Barashika bahamagara abarundi bagira gute bashaka.
They call upon on the leadership of Burundi to come and see what has happened. The killing.
Bafata ibirego babishikiriza inkiko bazavuga ngo kuko puzamahanga.
They gave them the charges and they took them to the prosecution.
Ariko ziri muri zimwe zituma tukomeza kurengana.
But we are still continuing to face injustice.
Iryo joro hapfuye abantu 160.
During that night in Gatumba, a refugee camp, 165 people were killed.
Ibyo ngibyo biragenda birarangira n'ubu amadose yabaye class.
It has been forgotten, no prosecution.
Muri ibi ngibi turimo by'ubu ngubu.
As we are rushing to this commemoration
today. Ku itariki 6 z'ukwezi kwa gatandatu 2016.
In 2016,
Nijoro twari dufite groupe imwe twagiraga ya Bijombo.
We had one group or the area where we had a chief.
Abaturanyi bacu twabanaga b'abafurero.
The neighbors whom we lived together Bafuliro.
Baraza batera chef de groupe Makabarure Sebasonera.
They came and attacked our chief.
Baramurasa n'ubataguye aho ngaho kubw'Imana.
They attacked him, they started shooting the gun.
We rwaje guhera muri ibyo bisebe.
And his death started from that wound.
Arapfa ubwo ngubwo kwari kugira ngo bazimize iyo groupement igende nka ya sheferi uburyo yagiye.
They wanted to chase them out to leave that land, the place.
Kabarure amaze gupfa.
After Kabarure chief dying,
umutekano muke waratangiye mu Cyabijombo.
We had no peace.
Mu Minembwe no mu Mibunda bari bagituye.
Minembwe and Mibunda, they were still living there.
Abantu batangira kwicwa kibandi.
People started being
Ariko leta ireba ariko ntacu yakoze.
and being assaulted and each every day. And the government did not do anything.
Nta protection imwe yigeze itanga.
There was no any protection that the government has offered.
Habaye mu mwaka w'ibihumbi 2018.
When it comes to the year of 2018,
intambara yari igeze muri za Mibunda.
the war also spread to Mibunda.
Abantu bari Mibunda barahunga bahungira hari mu Mikenke.
People who were in Mibunda, they ran away from war, they went to
Bashitse mu
Mikenke.
Mikenke baraswa noneho n'ingabo za leta.
When they get to Mikenke, they were shot, the bullet shot by the
Ingabo za
government
leta
military.
zirabarasa barahunga bamwe nico gihe bafashe inziriza za Bijombo.
The army of DRC started shooting to the
Abandi
civilians.
baraza bahuruka muri ibi bihugu.
And many of them ran away, they were scattered all over. And others
Umutekano
came here.
ubaye generalize.
And then insecurity became wide to
Kuva muri
everyone.
2017 kugeza uyu munsi n'imyaka 9.
From 2017 up to now, it is now 9 years.
Ubwoko bwacu buriko bwicwa.
Our people are being killed day and each every day.
Umubare w'abamaze gupfa muri ziriya ntambara ntawawubara.
The total number of the people who died, we cannot mention.
Kuko n'ubu duhagaze ahangaha ko barapfa.
Because even now, at this point of time we are speaking, people are being killed there.
Abantu b'iwacu barafungwa baratotezwa bajanwe Kinshasa gufungwa ntaco bakoze.
Our people are being arrested and being persecuted, mistreated without any reason.
Bamwe muri bo baragenda bapfirayo.
Some of them were under arrest and they became even
Abandi
the prison.
babayeho nabi mu buryo butari ubw'ubumuntu.
And others are living a life which is a miserable life.
Tukaguma tukagira ngo none leta ari kizagira.
And we thought that the government can do something in order to spare or to
Icyo gihe
give
cyose
justice
leta
for
yari
us.
kwitwica ariko ikayikoresha abandi itaragaragara ku mugaragaro.
At that time, the government was using behind some other people to kill us.
Habaye muri 2020
When it became in 2020,
Imana isa n'irigiye kudusetsa.
God wanted to give us one more a laugh on our face.
Imana iduheza zone ya Minembwe.
God gave us the zone of Minembwe.
Yari yarasohotse muri 2013 ariko ntibayitanga ku mugaragaro.
It has been given in 2016.
Habaye muri 2020
But they did not give it officially, proclaim it, but when it came to 2020,
2020 barayitanga ku mugaragaro hari mu kwezi kwa 10.
in 2020, they gave us a zone.
Bamaze kuyitanga
When they gave us that zone,
bari batanze amateritware 178.
they have given more than 174.
Izo zose iyacu yari imwe.
We had only one, our community.
Twavuze ko sheferi yari imwe bayidukuraho.
We had one sheferi, but they took it away.
Pema yari imwe barasaka barurega ngo bayidukureho.
Then a groupema, which was led by Kabarure, they shot
Baduheza
him.
teritware imwe mu materitware 178.
They gave us one territory, the zone among 174.
Uwagiye gushiraho administrateur kumuinstale ku mugaragaro.
Then the one who wanted to
Bari barakoresheje kandi kugira ngo duheze iminsi 6.
is the same person who has ordered us to leave DRC. He gave us 6 days.
Imbaraga z'Imana zirasumbiza abantu.
At the hands of God, the power of God is more than the power of
Wa
God.
wundi waduhaye iminsi 6.
The same person who has given us 6 days
Ubuyobozi bwaramutegetse ngo ari uja kuvuga yuko Minembwe ibaye
to leave Congo is the one the government has ordered to go and proclaim that is zone that has been given to our community.
Ariko bamaze kuyiduha kuko tubana n'abantu badashaka ngo tubaho.
After giving us that kind of place that we are ruling ourselves,
Teritware yacu yamaze iminsi 2.
we had that kind of zoning for 2 days.
Kuko ku itariki yamaze iminsi 2. Yamaze iminsi 2.
Only 2 days, they last for 2 days.
Umunsi wakurikiyeho
The following day,
ku itariki 8 bari bashize ku itariki 6.
because they have officially announced it on 6th, then when it gets to 8th,
Abanzi bacu bahoraho
our permanent enemies,
kuko turabagira bamwe babi imbere y'abandi.
because we always have those enemies.
Abitwa babitakwira murabazi.
Bitakwira, some of them are called
Abitwa
Bitakwira,
banzangi
Nzangi,
nabo bazapfa ku buryo abambere bapfuye hariho banzuruni barapfuye
And those ones who are the enemy to our people
hariho
also
abandi
die like
bavuze ngo
others.
ntituzabaho ubu ngubu ntakihari
Even the one who said we never leave is the one
abitwa
who
babisale
has
n'abandi
died before us.
barahaguruka babwira perezida ari kuri Goma
And those people is saying they stood up and said to the
baramubwira ngo
president.
nutangiriye territoire irabi igihugu cyo hakurya igihugu zabugitanze.
Then they said, once you give the territory to this community, as if you have given it to the other country.
Ubundi territoire zitangwa muri ministere ya interieur.
Territory is being given by the Minister of Interior.
President afata icyemezo wenyine aho ngaho akorana declaration wenyine.
But ours was pronounced by the president.
Ndavuga uburyo yavuze ndasubira mu ijambo ryiwe mu Gifaransa.
Let me repeat the word he spoke in French.
Banditse ngo yaranditse ngo pour moi.
He said to me,
le salut du peuple est la loi suprême.
The supreme rule, the leadership.
Ngo je ne peux pas laisser ma peuple en danger.
I can't leave my people in danger.
Nukuvuga ngo kuduheza territoire.
So for him to give us the
territory, bisobanuye yuko abaturage be bagiye muri danger.
Meaning his own people were put in danger.
Bisobanura yuko mwebwe mutari mubo yagombaga kugirira.
Meaning you are not considered like the people whom the
territoire barayihagarika.
Accept. The territory was stopped.
Administrateur aguma gukora ariko asa n'utahari.
The one who was the leader continued to serve and yet the territory wasn't there.
Ariko aho umuntu yasuzuguriwe n'Imana izimuzamurira.
But where people despise you, it's where God raises you up.
Hariya mu Minembwe. Imyaka yamaze yihangana hariya mu Minembwe apana n'abaturage.
That leader has been there with our people for 2 years.
Ubuzima bubi yabayemo hariya.
In bad life he lived with them.
Arahaguruka batwirwaneho kimwe n'izindi ntwari zose.
He stood up and he became one of.
Yarabuze ubushobozi bwo kwirwanaho bazaje kuba mu rugo rwiwe.
He was even able to just leave the place.
Yarabuze uburyo aza ngo asanga umudamu we n'abana be babeho mu mahoro.
He was able to join his family and live in peace.
Ariko yaravuze ngo sinzaterana n'abana baturage nzabana nabo.
But he said, I will never leave my people. I will continue being in struggle with them.
Imana itazisinzira ejo bundi arazamuka bavise
God who does never sleep nor slumber.
Mungu bari Bukavu.
They appointed him to become the vice every day. It doesn't. They don't care.
Nico gituma iyi si kuyibamo.
Reason why living in this world.
Nta yindi nzira n'imwe dufite.
We have no any other option.
Nta mahitamo dufite.
We don't have any other option or choice.
Nta handi twokatiriza.
We don't have any other shortcut.
Hatari muri twirwaneho.
Apart from being in twirwaneho.
Kwirwanaho ntabwo ari ishaka rya politiki.
Fighting for ourselves is not a political party.
Ishaka rya politiki rizarija kugera kwibera rya ruhari karangira.
A political party can be there for a while, for a time, a period of time.
Regime izijaho ikarangira.
A regime can serve for a certain period of time.
Ariko kwirwanaho ntibizarangira.
But fighting for yourself is something which has no end.
Kwirwanaho ni ideology.
Fighting for yourself is ideology.
Kwirwanaho ni ukubaho kwacu.
Fighting for yourself, fighting for your living.
Kwirwanaho ni ukwanga agasuzuguro.
Fighting for yourself is to
kwirwanaho ni ukuvuga ngo kubaho uko abandi babayeho.
Fighting for yourself is to claim to live as others live.
Bavukiye amezi 9 kimwe n'abandi.
We were born without 9 months.
Ninde ababyeyi bacu muri 66 barabashe guhagarika Mulele.
If our parents stood up and also stopped the Mulele movement,
bari abantu babarirwa ku gikonjo.
There were just a few people who stood up.
Ubu dufite abahungu abasore b'abahungu n'abasore b'abakobwa ibihumbi.
Today we have the young men and the young women, thousands and thousands of them.
Uruhare rwanyu rurakenewe hariya hantu.
Your contribution is needed there.
Nta maternity ifite abamama bazoza babyara kuja hariya kugira ngo bafate igihugu cyo gutura ntayo.
We have no any maternity that gives children who can go and fight. We have
Koko na bumwe buhari nta gihugu na kimwe kihari cyabyaye abana bo kuzoja kurwanira abanyamurenge.
We have no any other nation who has given birth to the children who can go and fight for you.
Nta muntu numwe udufitiye impuhwe ngo se tuzabaho gute.
There is no anyone who is pity for you, who has the compassion.
Kubaho kwacu ni twebwe.
Our living depends on us.
No kutazabaho kwacu bizavana natwe.
And also not living, our having injustice depends on ourselves.
Kubaho kw'abantu,
the life of people,
cyangwa kwirwanaho,
or fighting for ourselves,
kugira inzira nyinshi.
It has so many ways.
Kandi izo nzira zose turazifite.
In those many ways we have them.
kurya muri Bibiliya baza bavuga ngo Imana yagiye igabura impano ku bantu batandukanye n'uburyo butandukanye.
In the Bible says God give different people.
N'abantu natwe yagiye duheza amakapasite atandukanye.
Even we, God has given us different capacity.
Harabo yahaye kumera nk'intwari yacu ikirenga icyaha.
That those ones he gave to become like a hero.
Harabo yahaye kumera nk'uyu muvyeyi umuma muri aho imbere yacu.
That those ones he gave to become like this woman.
Harabo yahaye kumenya kuvuganira abandi mu nkiko kuko dufite abantu barize.
That those ones who stand to advocate for the people.
Harabo yahaye gutanga amafaranga turayafite.
That those ones he gave the finances capacity.
Twambaye n'uburyo tumeze kugira ngo bavuge ngo dufite ubushobozi.
Nobody who can see how we have dressed up and see you have no finances.
Ubushobozi ntitubufite.
We have finances.
Ubushobozi ntitubufite.
We have finances.
Amaboko ntituyafite.
We have hands.
Tudufite amaboko.
We have our hands.
Tudufite abantu bije baminuje.
We have people who are educated.
None cyo tuvuze niki kugira ngo bacu haba amahoro.
What do we miss so that our place can be peaceful?
Tuvuze niki twibaze.
What do we miss?
Kuko igomba kubaho mu wakaya buri muntu buri gitondo kazuba ngo ese uruhare rwanje muri kiya gihugu niki?
Because you should ask yourself and each every day, what is my contribution to my place, to my people?
Kuko hari abantu baza bagira ngo hari abavuse ngo bazagira uku ngo nibimara kumera neza ngo tuzaze gukora.
There are some people who thought that there are others who can go there to sacrifice themselves for you.
Umuntu utekereza uko nguko,
the person who has such kind of mindset,
azasaza tabigezeho.
You will die not reaching to your
muntu numwe n'uyumwe.
There is no any person
uzagutunganyiriza aho uzaza kuba,
who will go and prepare the place for you to live.
Numwe ukora ibihambaye ngo mu minembwe haba amahoro.
Nobody else who will come and prepare the fight for our land apart from you and me.
Hariya hejuru tubafite ibibazo birenze.
We have so many troubles there.
Dukeneye amaboko yacu twese kutumeze.
It needs our hands to be joined together.
Twese kutumeze.
We need to join our hands together.
Abazungu bagira ubwenge.
White people are wise.
Bagaza baza bakatugura bakatujana turingura no twaritukuze.
They used to come and bought us as slaves.
Ubuce baricara ati turatuvuga ngo uburenganzira bw'ikiremwa muntu twatujana abantu twabaguze.
Then one day they said, how do we claim for the human right and
yet no duhindure system yo kubita akantu kabaye kamera neza.
We bring people when we buy them as slaves.
Dushira akantu kitwa ngo ni processes.
Then they said, let us put something which is called a process.
Kugira ngo tuje gukora ubucakara tutatunungunika kuko twarijanye twarabisabishije tugira ivyuya,
so that we can go and do the work of slavery.
Batwijiza muri uwo murongo.
They gave us such kind of skills.
Badusenyeri wacu.
They destroy our place.
None ko barasinya amasezerano yo kuzibo kuhaba.
And now they are signing the treaty.
Ese wacu nko ari habi kubereka babashaka kuza kuhaba.
Why do they sign the treaty to come and live in our land?
Timuze ko basinya amasezerano yo kuza kuhaba.
They are signing the treaty.
Natwe tugasinya kuja kubakorera.
To come and live in our land, and yet we are going to their
country. Tufaranga baza bafatiye tugeze hanze tufaranga dufata.
You know the money they pay you when you reach there.
Ni nyeti batakaye kumeza ibyo bariye byinshi byiwacu.
It is just that the leftover that has fallen down from their tables.
Twibuka intwari yacu.
As we remember our hero,
reka muvuge ku magambo atatu kuko twarabanye.
Let me just speak him in a few things.
Twabonanye nawe muri 96.
I saw him in 66.
Tubana 97
in 96 and 98.
Turatandukana.
Then we were separated.
Turasubira 2011 Bukavu.
I met with him in 2012.
Ari umuyobozi afite office nziza.
When he was a leader, he had a very big office.
Ari vehicle abana baje ku ishuri bakagenda n'imodoka n'umudamu.
He had a vehicle. His children used to go to school when they're in the vehicles.
Ari ku ibyo ngibyo yarabisize.
But he left all such kind of comfort.
Wewe wo kubaza n'ibyo uhawe wihambiraho wobibura.
When we ask you the comfort zone you are fearing to leave, you cannot provide it.
Arabisiga.
But him, he left the comfort zone.
Muzo muvuga bitatu cyambere.
3 things I can mention.
Yari intwari.
He was a hero.
Nuko ndabirangije. Icyakabiri.
The second one.
Yari umukirisitu.
He was a believer, a Christian.
Icyagatatu.
The third one.
Yari umuvisionnaire, yarebaga kure.
He was a person with a vision. He used to look far.
Ibyo bintu bitatu.
Those are 3 things that I know about him.
Nzabaza abantu bose babanye nawe.
People who lived with him knew about it.
Uyu munsi tuba tumwibuka.
Now today as we commemorate him.
tuba umunsi wo kumwibuka gusa no kurira ngo ntiturataha birangire.
It is not the day of commemorating so that we can live just there.
Tuzirikane umurage we.
Let us continue to consider and remember his legacy.
Tuzirikane ibyo yasize avuga.
Let us continue to remember what he said.
Gukomereza mu murongo wa twirwaneho niko kumwibuka no gutomushira ku status zawe.
Continuing in the same way he started is continuing to remember his legacy.
Mwenda wanditseho we.
Remembering him is not to carry
the
garment whereby you have written his name. What is needed is to continue doing the same activity he was doing. As you wind up, all the things that I have mentioned that you have faced, people can ask you who are killing you. We are being killed by our government.
Kuva icoge cha 60
since the year of 60s
kugeza uyu munsi wa mbere leta niyo yafashe ya mbere yo kutwica kandi ari yagomba kuturinda.
Up to now the government are the ones who are at the front line fighting against us.
Iri kumwe n'abafatanya bikorwa bayo
together with their partners.
Ba maimai yaje guhindurira izina ry'icubahiro ngo nabazalendo kuko abazalendo bihindura ibindi je mbita maimai.
Maji movement have changed the name into wazalendo.
Iri kumwe n'abasirikare b'u Burundi n'imbonera kure president w'u Burundi yatosheje kugira ngo zazica abantu kuko sa abasirikare mbonera kure.
Together with the army of Burundi,
iri yani milice idatandukanye cyane n'intera hamwe zo mu Rwanda.
Together with some other militia of Burundi, they have joined all of them together to kill us.
Arangije abona bonti birahaza.
Then he said it is not enough.
Arongaraza na ba mercenaires.
He also brought mercenaries.
Biburaya.
Mercenaries from Europe.
N'abandi bungu kwaraza n'abanyamerika.
And some others from elsewhere.
Bakoresha artillery ziremereye zitokoreshwa mu baturage.
They use sophisticated weapons.
Bakoresha za drones zitazazikoresha intambara iremereye.
They use the drones that have never been used before.
Drones zikazazitera amakompora 150 ku munsi mu baturage.
The drones started the bombardment of our people, the bombardment.
Mu ntambara za Congo kuva muri 1996 ntahandi yaraterwa ziriya drone.
Since the year 1960s we have never seen the drone doing the bombardment.
Kandi wacu hari ibibazo bisumba handi.
And even our place is not the only place.
Kandi byose baza kubyitirira bakavuga ngo ni za rebellion ngo zituruka iwacu.
And for them they claim that all the rebellion comes from our place.
Rebellion AFDL yari yobowe na Laurent Desire Kabila yari umuntu wagatanga.
The rebellion of AFDL led by Laurent Kabila.
RCD yobowe na Wamba Diawamba yari umuntu wa Bakongo.
RCD led by Wamba Diawamba, it was from Bakongo.
Dr. Ilunga Kalambo yari umuntu wo muri Katanga.
And the other one is from Katanga.
Hazao Onusumba yari umuntu wa Sankuru.
Onusumba is from Sankuru.
Ariko muri izo rebellion zose,
in those rebellion,
nta muntu wabo wigeze agira ikibazo ngo mwene wabo ngo ari mu ishyamba.
There is no any person who had a problem because his people are in the bush.
Nta muntu numwe bigeze batoteza ngo bavandimwe biyo binji ishyamba.
Nobody has been mistreated, prosecuted,
Bemba
and persecuted because of how his people are fighting.
Bemba yari muri MLC mu ishyamba.
Bemba was in the bush.
Ariko isi yari ministre kwa Kabila.
And his father was a minister.
Abangara bari Kinshasa nta muntu wawutashwe.
Bangala community were not attacked.
Ico gihe nico gihe abacu bariko bishwa ngo RCD yatangiye ni y'abanyamurenge.
That is when they were killing our people that
is
from our community.
Muri ico gihe cyose bivuga ngo turanzwe muhaguruke, meaning
we are
people hamwe.
People have hatred against our community. All of us, we have to stand together. When we join our hands together, we can stand. We wind up and we give our condolences to those who have lost their beloved ones. Especially the family of General Michel Rukunda. We say sorry to Twigwaneho wherever they are. We give sorry to our community, our people, Banyamulenge, even though it seems like we are in the darkness, but the day is coming. Do not be discouraged. Let us not be afraid by the speeches. Do not be afraid by the speeches given by some other people who are in the government being corrupted. Our people are being corrupted by the government. Let there be Twigwaneho. Let there be Banyamulenge.
murakOze.
Thank you.